Hi everybody, Dr. Ashley here, and I am on both Facebook Live and Instagram, so if you ask questions or anything, I'll try to juggle them, but just know that I'm juggling two live platforms here. So again, I'm Dr. Ashley. I am a board certified naturopath and I practice alongside my husband, who is a chiropractor, and we are in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania at Restorative Chiropractic and Functional Wellness Center. So I want to kind of tell you a little bit about my story, and we're going to jump into talking a little bit about holistic skincare here in a few minutes. So like I said, I'm a naturopath, my husband's a chiropractor, and we have been kind of on this holistic health journey for about a decade now. I actually have a background in education, and he started chiropractic school about a decade ago, and it's kind of just been a wonderful journey through some ups and downs as we've gone through this journey of holistic health. So I would like to tell a little bit about why I'm even speaking. Why would a naturopath and a chiropractor care about holistic skincare, and kind of our vision and mission of how we approach health is looking at the body as a whole person. So yes, we believe chiropractic and nutrition are foundational to health, but there's so many other aspects of health, functional medicine that we bring in, and to even the skincare tonight. So about 5 years ago, we actually walked through a pretty significant health trial as a family. Our oldest daughter, Blair, was 2 years old at the time, and she struggled with major digestive issues and a lot of neurological stuff that really was a really large trial for our family, and kind of was a catalyst to even more education and learning about natural health. So through all that, and the stress of watching her struggle, and the stress of learning and digging for answers, my borderline chronic health issues did become chronic, and really stress just took over my body. So I started having a lot of chronic health issues as well. And fast forward a few years, my precious little girl is now 7 years old, and she is a happy, vibrantly healthy little girl. And we're doing a lot better. But one thing that I did notice in that time was our skin health really declined. I noticed a lot of aging in my own skin. Blair battled eczema a little bit, and we just felt like we really needed this piece of holistic skincare that there's the dog saying hi. Okay. So we just needed this piece of holistic skincare to help facilitate that healing in a deeper way. So that's a little bit about why we are even discussing this topic tonight. But the skin, you might well know that it is the largest organ of the body, and obviously the visible organ of the body. And it also is highly absorbent. So anything we put on our skin will be absorbed into the bloodstream within seconds and minutes. And at the root of skin challenges is inflammation to some degree. So keep that in mind as we go through our talk tonight, that there is an internal aspect to what's happening and manifesting within our skin. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the causes of a lack of skin health. And ancient cultures, in particular the Chinese, always noted that the skin, or even particularly the face, was the window to the gut and to the inside of us. So when we have a skin issue, whether it be eczema, psoriasis, typical aging skin, melasma, pigmentation issues, they all have a source of some issue that could be going on inside of us. And if we trace that back, it's probably going to have roots in inflammation. So a lot of times this is a gut issue. So you may have heard of gut dysbiosis or the term leaky gut. So gut dysbiosis is when you have an imbalance in microbes within your digestive tract, within the gut. So that could be really an overproliferation of pathogenic organisms that cause the beneficial organisms within our microbiome to struggle. And we see that in inflammation in the skin, but also chronic inflammation within the body. And take that a step further, leaky gut, you may have heard of. It's a little bit of a buzzword right now, but leaky gut or intestinal permeability is when the intestines really become permeable. The lining of our gut is one cell thick. So we have epithelial cells that line our gut, and that is really our body's only defense against really the outside world of what we are consuming. And so things like antibiotic use, oral contraceptives, even and most of the time a standard American diet that's high in processed foods, stress, this can all cause a leaky gut. So when this happens, we have these epithelial cells that really should have this really tight zonulin kind of glue holding them together. And when we are chronically stressed or eating a poor diet or taking certain medications, that glue, even gluten, GMOs can start to break down that zonulin and cause a leaky gut. So when you see things like acne, eczema especially, and even some of the other inflammatory things, psoriasis, rosacea, melasma, some of those things can even be traced back to a leaky gut. So we need to have proper nutrition going into our bodies, but also we need to be able to assimilate that nutrition. So when we have a proper balance of gut microbes, as well as a sealed and good gut environment, that is able to happen and be much more likely. And then when it comes to the health of the skin, and in particularly the face, as we age, we have a 1% decline of circulation going through our bodies and hitting the skin. So starting at age 25, that decline starts. So when we are age 50, 60, but we'll say 50 for right now, we have a 25% less amount of circulation going to the skin. And that is how our skin gets nutrition and gets tools it needs to stay healthy and rebuild. And so that 1% decline per year, we'll say age 50, we have a 25% decline in the circulation. So that's a 25% less oxygenation going to the skin, 25% less nutrients, 25% less of an immune system within our skin, 25% fibroblasts. The decline goes from there. So as you can see, as we age, it's even more important to be supporting the skin. I'd like to talk about nutrition from the inside first tonight. So, if you know me and my husband, we really are pretty passionate about holistic health and holistic nutrition. And we believe that the food that we eat either has the ability to help us and prevent disease or hinder us. And we believe that really any bite of food that you take is either an investment into your health or something that's taking away from your health. So I want to start with water. Water is crucially important. Our cells need to be hydrated to even function properly. Even fine lines and wrinkles can come from dehydrated cells. So we need to be drinking half our body weight in ounces of water a day. So a person that weighs 120 pounds, you should be drinking about at least 60 ounces of water a day. Now, if you're exercising, that number is going to need to go up. But it can't be just any water. So our tap water is really contaminated with chlorine, fluoride, even some heavy metals, medication residues, antibiotics, birth control. That can all be found in trace amounts in tap water. So, and even well water can have even parasites and heavy metals in it as well. So we need to make sure we're drinking really pure water. My personal favorite is a reverse osmosis, and I'm sorry, but Brita filters just aren't going to be able to take really much out as far as the toxicity within the water. So please make sure you're drinking really good quality water. And so that not only is just going to hydrate us, but it's going to hydrate our cells as well. And even if after you're working out, or if you just feel like you need a little bit of extra boost in your hydration, you can put a pinch of sea salt and I like to put a couple drops of liquid minerals in my water to just help my body stay hydrated and hydrated well. And it also just helps to flush toxins and waste out of our body, helps our kidneys to function properly, which will then in part really help the health of our entire system, but also our skin health. Healthy fats. Healthy fats are really crucially important for healthy cells. We believe that we should be getting to the root cause of health things. And when we trace that back, yes, a lot of disease begins in the gut, but we can trace that back further and even to the health of the cells. So healthy cells need healthy fats. The cell membrane is a phospholipid bilayer, and that means that there is lipid, that's fat. We need good quality fats to maintain proper integrity of the cell membrane. So that could be a good quality coconut oil, avocado oil, a good pastured grass-fed animal fat. So that could be butter, it could be ghee, lard, tallow from grass-fed cows. Those are all going to be health benefiting fats to be incorporating into your diet. Bone broth. So bone broth is fantastic for pretty much any health concern that you have and just maintaining a really vibrant health. But in bone broth, there's several amino acids. The four main are glycine, proline, glutamine, and alanine. And those four amino acids are going to help to maintain healthy structures within your body. They're going to when you drink bone broth, it soothes and even brings healing to the digestive tract. It can bring down inflammation within the digestive tract and therefore bring down systemic inflammation when you drink bone broth, and just help to create those building blocks for elasticity and the structure of our connective tissues. So those are really important aspects of bone broth. And in that, I'm going to also mention collagen. So collagen is really found in bone broth, but we can also, they have different powders and supplements that you can stir into your coffee or tea or even into water, and that's another way to boost your collagen intake. And again, that is just crucially important for making sure you have healthy skin, healthy nails, healthy teeth, connective tissue, a healthy gut. But I do want to mention vitamin C. So vitamin C is a potent antioxidant, but it also is absolutely necessary for your body to be able to utilize the collagen that you're taking in, whether it's a supplement or bone broth or some other place in your diet. You need vitamin C for your body to be able to use that collagen and build. So vitamin C is actually needed in every single process, every single stage of the process of building and forming connective tissue with the collagen. So vitamin C is crucially important. And that leads me to fermented foods. So fermented foods, and especially fermented vegetables like sauerkraut, kimchi, they are really high in vitamin C as well. So they're not only wonderful, sources of that antioxidant, but they also really help to balance the microbiome, the good and the bad gut flora within our intestines, and really give the gut a boost and the immune system a boost as well. So fermented foods could be the fermented vegetables, like I mentioned, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha is really wonderful as well to give your gut a nice boost of probiotics. Fruit kvass, beet kvass. There's really so many that you can do to boost the health of your gut and microbiome. If you are not a big fan of fermented foods, not to worry. Probiotics can really come in handy here. And we sell several at the office. So if you have a specific question or health concern, we can help you find the right fit. So not all probiotics are created equal, and that's a whole nother discussion, but another way to boost the gut as well is taking a supplement probiotic. And I should also note here that it's really important to keep blood sugar balanced. So if we're having insulin spikes or any sort of insulin resistance, that is going to cause a chronic state of inflammation within the body. So again, inflammation is going to not only have an impact within our skin, it's going to impact the other organs in the body and help them not function appropriately. So keeping the blood sugar elevated with healthy fats, healthy proteins, and just a really clean diet is super crucial for your skin health and just overall health in general. And it should be noted that, processed food, a lot of the standard American diet is going to contribute to blood sugar spikes as well as a gut dysbiosis and inflammation. So anything that's packaged, industrial seed oils, canola oil, soybean oil, they're really pretty detrimental to health and should be avoided. Obviously sugar, white flour, all of that does contribute to inflammation as a whole within the body. So that brings me to osmosis. Why osmosis? So like I said, we were kind of in this spot a few years ago that we really wanted to bring something on board in the clinic that would help us address skin health. So we know the nutrition and the physiology with some of these foods and how it interacts with our body on the inside, but sometimes we need a boost and feed our skin and nourish our skin from the outside. So osmosis is first and foremost really just works with the immune system. So we have an immune system, a systemic immune system, but our skin has an immune system. So when we have, a cut or we have a breakout or something happens to our skin's immune system is going to need to know how to respond to that. If we have a fully functioning immune system within our skin, it's going to have the tools it needs and know what to do with them to bring complete healing and support to that skin issue. So again, like I've been saying, poor nutrition, chronic stress, any sort of sickness or toxicity really leads to oxidative stress internally and externally. So what we're seeing on the outside of our skin is indicative of dysfunction within our body. So if we're struggling, we're seeing skin that is struggling with an issue, it's likely that our organs are also struggling as well. So in order for the skin to get permanent change, it needs nutrition coming from the inside and nutrition coming from the outside. It needs to be well fed, well oxygenated, have the optimal immune function, and have the cells that are going to make the collagen and elastin. And they just need to be plentiful so that we can deal with any skin disorder that comes up. So osmosis strengthens the immune system. They also have a philosophy that there is no harm. So a lot of the industry, the skincare industry, actually harms the skin in order to bring change. So things like even daily exfoliation or over exfoliation, chemical peels, any acid peels, even laser therapy, light therapy, those are all bringing harm to the skin in order to get a response. So we might look nice after some of those things, but what's really happening is our skin is continuing to age, and it's continuing to be in a state of inflammation. And we don't want that. We don't want to stop using the treatment or continue going on, having our acid peels or over exfoliation, and then really having our skin being in a chronic state of inflammation. So these treatments are designed to, like I said, trigger the inflammation in order to get the response. And also, it's worth noting that most products on the market, especially conventional ones, are just full of really toxic ingredients. So sodium lauryl sulfate is SLS is the acronym, but it is a foaming agent. Phthalates, parabens, those are all can be linked to carcinogenic activity and endocrine disruption within the body, and really have no place in a holistic skincare regimen. Obviously, gluten is a problem and can be have a really negative impact both internally and externally, and have a sensitivity that way. Artificial colors and preservatives. So you will find none of those in Osmosis. They're actually oncology friendly, and they have all kinds of green certifications as well, which I really do appreciate. So they will not harm the skin. They are only to benefit. So there's no inflammation happening. They are anti-inflammatory, which is what we want to support optimal health. Probably the most wonderful thing about Osmosis is their product penetration. So typical skincare really only penetrates 2 to 5% into the dermal layers. We have the epidermis and the dermis, which is the deeper skin layer, and most products don't even make it to the dermis, which is where change happens. It's not on very much happen. There's not much happening on the epidermis, which is the outer layer. You really have to get it in deep for any change to occur. So Osmosis has a liposomal delivery system, and they use a phospholipid molecule called phosphatidylcholine, which I love to get nerdy and geek out about some of these chemicals and products, but this is fantastic because it allows the whatever the ingredient or the nutrition is in that particular Osmosis product to get deep, 600 times deeper into the dermis than 95% of the products, if not more, out there. And like I said, it has to be in that deep dermal layer to have any sort of change. And again, this could be a change in acne, a change in aging or fine lines and wrinkles. It could be a change in melasma, any skin issue. It just needs to get deep into the skin. So again, those liposomes, the phosphatidylcholine, they're water and fat soluble, and just going to help those molecules shimmy deep into the skin. Once they're deep in the skin, our bodies know what to do with those nutrients, and it's going to use them accordingly. And again, they're non-inflammatory ingredients. They're really nourishment for the skin, so our skin's just going to be able to thrive in that environment. And then next, we have to activate collagen. If we are going to have any skin transformation, collagen must be activated. You may have heard of vitamin A products, and they're really beneficial for the skin, but there's really very few that actually are not inflammatory. So you might have heard of retin A. It's pretty standard. Retin A actually is highly inflammatory to the skin. Osmosis uses retinaldehyde. Now, retinaldehyde is a natural form of vitamin A, And how it differs from retin A and some of the other vitamin A out there is there's only one quick conversion from the retinaldehyde within osmosis to retinoic acid, which is what our skin needs to work with. So that one quick conversion makes it really easily to assimilate into our bodies. Now, retin A and other vitamin A's out there take several conversions to get to that usable form for our skin. So in that, there can be a breakdown really in the dermal layers and inflammation and things that just aren't good and aren't going to bring ultimately the result that we want. So another thing with the retinaldehyde, they also have niacinamide, which is a B vitamin, vitamin B3, which increases circulation. So like I said earlier, that circulation is needed to make sure that our skin is getting the nutrients that it needs. So that B3 niacinamide gets our circulation going. If you've used osmosis products before, especially when you start, you'll notice that your skin gets just slightly flush for just a few seconds. That's the niacinamide working and just increasing the circulation in those dermal layers. So osmosis is able to really activate collagen with that vitamin A in a non-toxic way. And lastly, they have DNA repair and a patented zinc finger technology. So what this is, when zinc fingers are used by all cells in our bodies to repair and the formation of DNA, RNA, and some proteins. So these zinc fingers are really supporting the DNA, and when our DNA is functioning properly, then our cells are functioning properly, and they know, okay, now it's time to fix this scar, or fix this wrinkle, or fix this spot of eczema. They know what to do when DNA is functioning properly. So that's just another thing that I love about osmosis. And I don't know if there's any questions. That's a little bit... Anybody have questions? It's pretty much what I have for this evening. So just to wrap up, if there's skin damage in any way, it is really indicative of something that's going on internally, whether we have gut dysbiosis or an immune compromise or whatever. We need to be looking deeper than just, oh, I have a rash or eczema. There's always a deeper layer to look at. So if that's the case and you find yourself in that position, that's what Kevin and I are absolutely passionate about, is helping people get to the root of health issues. So if you need help navigating that in any way, we would be happy to do that. If you are just like, hey, I feel like I have good skin, but I just want to support myself as I age, we'd also love to be a resource for you as well. So let me see here. Oh, what I do want to say is that I offer free osmosis consultations. So really it's a quick health history, quick, looking at the skin, really just to support the skin. If you have some other chronic issues that take longer, we might need to dig a little deeper, but I do offer free 30-minute consultations for osmosis. And if you mention watching this video, I'd be happy to extend a 10% off of your first osmosis purchase. So I hope you found this informative, and I am so thankful that you are listening tonight and have considered what I have to say for your health needs. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.